Jay here for Stretford Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. As you can see, I'm outside Old Trafford and it's a bit nippy, just about parka wearing weather. Latest news coming out of the papers this morning is regarding United's pursuit of RB Leipzig defender Jadon Upamecano. Apparently he's confirmed even that he's held talks with interested clubs. He's been heavily linked, with Manchester United in for the young French centre-back to potentially partner Harry Maguire. Now, it's been reported in a couple of the papers that he's spoken about the fact that he's extended his contract. We know that he extended his contract recently, but that doesn't mean that he can't leave his current club, Leipzig. It says here, I extended in Leipzig because I feel good with my teammates and my coach. I'm good at Leipzig, it says, but it then goes on to say that he'd be sort of open to the move, and it's very sort of... Do you remember when Cristiano Ronaldo was linked with moving from Manchester United and we had all those talks of, who knows where I'll end up, that sort of thing. He's sort of going down that road a little bit. He says, I speak with clubs, but I have time. We will see what happens in the future. So it's a little bit ambiguous there, this is what he's saying, but he's admitting that, he's been speaking at clubs, or his agent's been speaking at clubs, and that there's potentially a move there. The big question is that move going to be to Manchester United, and will it be this summer, if at all it does happen? As I said earlier, United linked with him potentially to come in and partner Harry Maguire, so we'll have to see how that one pans out, because as we know, and I'll get to this a little bit later, when you're buying clubs from buying players from the Bundesliga, it's not always a case of you just go in with the offer and they accept what they want. A lot of them do dig their heels in a little bit. A lot of them do want what they feel is the right amount for that player, and he will have a buyout clause if he's just recently signed a new deal, and that clause is believed to be around the region of sort of 45 to 55 million. So United may have to sort of go in with an offer, or go in with a solid offer and pay the money that they want. We've not seen any offers coming in yet. We're just hearing him saying that he's had some talks. So we'll see what happens with that, and as always, we will keep you posted, because that seems to be gathering a little bit of momentum following the transfer of Donny van der Beek, which I'll get to in a minute. Christian Falk, however, saying that those rumours are not true. Also, United, apparently, here being reported, have made contact with Thiago Alcantara's representatives as they've joined Liverpool in the hunt for the Bayern Munich midfielder. This has been reported in a couple of the papers. I think the Mirror have got it, and it's been reported elsewhere. This is coming out of Bild, the German publication, which is usually quite reliable. It's one of the more reliable publications. They're saying that United have made contact with Thiago's representatives. Now, Thiago has been linked with Manchester United over the summer. He was linked with United, obviously, in 2013. I've mentioned this many times, that before David Moyes arrived, he was linked with us. When David Moyes arrived, it looked like he was going to be his first signing. For whatever reason, that didn't happen. We ended up getting Marouane Fellaini instead. This summer, it looked like the midfielder was going to leave Bayern Munich and go to Anfield. Liverpool were the favourites to sign him, but Manchester United seems to be gathering momentum that United could be in for him. We spoke to Florian Plettenberg recently, who writes for Sport 1 over in Germany. He covers Bayern Munich, and he hinted that he felt Thiago would be open to a move to Old Trafford. He said that United are very well respected in Germany. They're revered as the biggest English club. He also felt Thiago might be reluctant to go to Anfield, especially with the amount of midfielders they've got. Now, that might sound contradictory when you look at the amount of midfielders we've got here. I think our midfield is arguably as good as Liverpool's, if not better. I think it's the one area where we can say we are a little bit better than them. But he said he felt that Liverpool may have to sell Naby Keita to get that move to make Thiago go, which I don't see happening. There's also been reports that Jurgen Klopp hasn't been given the money for Thiago. So maybe he could be heading to Old Trafford, as it's been reported in Bild. United making contact with him, with his representatives. So another one to keep your eye on. We'll see what happens there. But a great addition if he can come. We know we've got Donny van der Beek, but Thiago is a different type of player, and at 29, he's at his peak. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see. 30, I think the sort of money being touted is around 30 million euros, because he's only got a year left on his deal. So it's not like you'd have to break the bank for him, and hopefully you can get at least 2 or 3 seasons out of him here in England. So we'll have to see what happens with that one. Staying in Germany, Jadon Sancho. The news that sort of is daily. Talk about Paper Talk daily. This is a story that keeps going on every day. It doesn't really go anywhere recently. We know that United wanted to pay in instalments. We know that Dortmund wanted around 110 or 108 million pounds for him. They wanted most of that up front, if not all of it up front. United weren't willing to do that. And it seems to have reached a bit of an impasse. And the latest news is that Manchester United will not give up on signing Jadon Sancho this summer until England star publicly says he wants to stay at Dortmund. So they're putting a little bit of pressure if the reports are to be believed. I think this is coming out of the Mail. So you make of that what you will. The United want Dortmund to come out. Want Jadon Sancho to come out and say I'm staying before they give up on him. Now again, we've been speaking to people about the Jadon Sancho transfer. We spoke to Patrick Berger, another reporter for Sport Heinz. He covers Dortmund over in Germany, and he was adamant that he felt that Dortmund were going to dig their heels in and weren't even going to sell him this summer. He felt that Jadon Sancho would spend another year at Dortmund. The success of Bayern Munich, some of the shade that Bayern Munich have been thrown at Dortmund about them being a selling club, the fact that Dortmund aren't in a similar position as they have been in the past when they had to sell some of their players for, not for a cut price, but maybe for less than they would have wanted. When they sold the likes of Mkhitaryan, for example, who came here, and Thiago, who came here, he said they're not in the same financial position. They are in a position now where they're a little bit stronger and they could wait a season and sell him next summer, and they'd probably get roughly the same money next summer as he will this summer. We know he's contracted till 2023, so it looks like Dortmund could be digging the heels in, and United are almost forcing or asking Jadon Sancho to make the decision for them. Another story that was doing the rounds last night, it came out, I think it was in the Daily Mail and was reported in a couple of other papers, is Harry Maguire. Another sort of twist in the Harry Maguire tale. We know that he's appealed against his sentence and that his conviction has been quashed while his appeal's going on. He was obviously previously convicted to a suspended sentence and a fine for the incident in Mykonos where he got into a bit of a fracas with the Greek police. Now, the latest story was that he said he's apparently yelled, "F Greek police." I'm editing this for it is early morning to be swearing. "F Greek police, F the Greek civilization." Apparently that's what he shouted out, which to me sounds completely ridiculous. What next? He shouted out, "Oh, the Hippocratic Oath is rubbish. Plato's Symposium is a load of rubbish, is a load of nonsense." I don't think so. I don't see him shouting anything about the Greek civilization when he's arguing with police. It seems a bit far-fetched. And a lot of this story has seemed like something out of a film. It seemed like something out of a, it's been compared to Taken 4 with his sister apparently getting injected and him attempted kidnappings and all this sort of nonsense. And now it's turning into sort of Carry On Greece with the latest revelation that he shouted insults regarding the Greek civilization during an argument with the Greek police. Come on, let's keep it real. And just finally, of course, Donny van de Beek. We know what's gone on there. The latest news was he's having his medical. His medical was more or less done. The fee's been agreed, terms have been agreed. We're just waiting for him to make that announcement, or the club to make that announcement that he has actually signed and he is officially a Manchester United player. Doesn't seem to be any issue there. It was around a £40 million fee. The deal sort of came out of nowhere. It was Sunday morning, it was being rumoured. Sunday afternoon, there was talk about it being accepted, and by Sunday night, it was practically a done deal. I think we had Fabrizio Romano giving us those magic words, "Here we go," all happened in the space of sort of 10 hours, which is pretty remarkable because when you consider this club's taken, 6 weeks to not sign Jadon Sancho and 8 years to not sign Thiago Alcantara, getting a deal done in 12 hours for a club like Manchester United and the way we do transfers, is pretty amazing. So we're just waiting to hear the official announcement, seeing that he's signed. Hopefully we won't have any piano playing videos to make that announcement. We'll have something a little bit more normal. But yeah, Donny van de Beek's going to come here. Looking forward to seeing him at Old Trafford. Looking forward to seeing him joining that midfield. There's been a bit of, I wouldn't say criticism, but people questioning, certain pundits questioning whether we need him. Does this mean that Paul Pogba's going to go anywhere? How does this mean for the midfield with Pogba, Bruno, Van de Beek, and also the likes of Nemanja Matic and other players? Listen, you needed to rotate. You need a squad. You need to be able to rest players. We saw it at the end of last season. Going into the Europa League, the semi-final against Sevilla, we had a lot of leggy players. We had players that have been playing game after game after game. Even the semi-final against Chelsea, there's no doubt that our lack of squad depth cost us in those semi-finals, cost us winning trophies. Probably didn't cost us a title challenge or anything that dramatic, but certainly cost us bringing silverware here. So hopefully Van de Beek won't be the only signing we make this summer. We will make some more. We'll have to see if one of those is Deo Upamecano. We'll have to see if another one of those is Thiago Alcantara, or even if it ends up being Jadon Sancho. We'll see. As always, we'll keep you posted. We'll have updates. We'll have the paper talk outside Old Trafford where the sun's beginning to shine. We'll have this daily. We'll also have podcasts coming up. We'll have the Tier 1 transfer podcast as well. You can look forward to that. Hopefully we'll be getting the lowdown on what moves and deals we can expect from Manchester United. Also, who's going the other way? What players could be heading out the door at Old Trafford? Because we know, yes, we've signed Donny van der Beek and we've been linked with these players that I've already mentioned, but we've got the likes of Chris Smalling, Phil Jones, Jesse Lingard, Andres Pereira, all expected to be moved on this summer. I've been Jay. This has been the Paper Talk as the sun comes out, as usual, just as I'm about to finish. Don't forget to hit like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.